Here we go again. Hi, guys.
Hello. Welcome to the very first episode of EU Sports.
I'm so excited.
I am so happy that you're here, and we're so happy to be here.
We're so happy to be here because we already filmed this, and long story short, it's no longer with us. So
Technology is hard.
Technology is hard, and technology 1, Caitlin and Spencer is 0.
Yes.
That's okay, because now we got our rough draft out of the way. It's fine.
Yes,
Okay.
it's all good. But if you don't know us, which, you know, a lot of you probably will, but this is Spencer. She's my beautiful friend and co-host.
And this is my friend Caitlin.
Here I am.
And we're so excited. We started this podcast, EU Sports, basically because of a dream Caitlin had.
Yep, I literally...
And the power of friendship.
the power of friendship.
Which we'll get into. All right, Caitlin, because you've never said this to the camera before.
I've never told anyone.
Tell us, I want to know how you got into sports before we get into everything.
Okay, so I grew up with a bunch of older brothers. So I grew up a lot around sports. My closest older brother played all of the sports. I was always like the little sister, you know, just like the team little sister of all the friends and everything like that. So I was always around it. I was a cheerleader, loved cheerleading. It was great and everything like that. But I was also like the cheerleader that was like a little too invested because like I loved
like
you. I like
Awkward.
loved the actual sport, you know, like I loved watching football, loved basketball. I just loved all of it. I've always been like a really big fan of competition and like, you know, adrenaline and all of that stuff. I ran track. I played basketball. I coached track for a while.
Runner, she's a track star.
It's true. I was just like, don't tell Usain Bolt, but like I am
She's
her.
coming for you.
But like I just, you know, I played sports. I loved sports. I was a student athletic trainer or team manager for my high school's football team, my high school's men's basketball team, and also men's volleyball like for a little while. I did everything during the summer. I was there for 2 days practices for basketball and football. I just have always been like such a big part of it and have always loved being a part of the team. I almost played football. They begged me to play. They asked me to play. I wish I would have.
You should.
But I totally wish I would have. I was too much of like a baby. I didn't want to be tackled by men. Like that sounds really scary. But so
No comment.
dang it. So true. Okay. Anyway. So
Okay.
but
sorry.
when I was a little girl, I always told people like, you know, when you like ask little girls like, what do you want to be when you're older? And it's always like a princess or a ballerina or something cute like that. I always told people that I wanted to be the very first quarterback for the Denver Broncos or the very first female quarterback for the Denver Broncos. That was always my dream job. I said it for years and years and years.
that.
It's in my childhood yearbooks. I've just always been a fan of sports. I love that like now I just get to kind of like watch it and like dive into it and really like live it now that I'm an adult and like and everything like that. So I don't know. I've always loved sports. I'm so happy to be able to like just talk about it and yap about it with you.
I love
But I would
gabbing.
love to know how you, my dear friend Spencer, got into sports.
Oh my God. As if the people that follow us like on social media don't know, we are very similar. And I grew up with 2 older brothers who were also big sports people. I'm raised in the South. My dad and I grew up watching like college football together. I was a cheerleader. I did literally every sport under the sun, including flag football, like
Love that.
love it all. I've tried and done it all. And then I was a cheerleader, and that was like my favorite thing in the world. Loved Friday Night Lights. I was, again, like Caitlin, that cheerleader that was like crying on the sideline over her high school football team, like not like making like, you know,
The playoffs or whatever. Yeah.
Or whatever it was. So I like grew up with the competitive spirit and the love of like football. And then when I decided I was going to University of Kentucky, that's
Go
when
Cats.
I had fallen in love, I think, with like basketball per se, with the young Warriors, the super team Warriors. They were just so fun to watch. But I was obsessed with college basketball when I because Kentucky used to be really good. And the year before me was when Kat was on the team and they were 38-0. And it was like the coolest feeling to know like that's the school I was going to.
Winning
and after
teams.
it was so fun. And again, I've always been the overly emotionally invested like person, which is fine because I just get so into it. So my sophomore year, I became a media relations intern.
Love.
Which means you do a lot of work and get paid nothing. But I did get a front row seat to all the football games, the basketball games, like SEC tournaments, any that we had, I worked them. So I worked for like NCAA tournaments and SEC tournaments. It felt really cool at the time. And so I have all my little badges, and that was like the coolest job in the world to me.
It's a cool job.
Yeah, I like did some sports journalism in college and classes and things. So anyway, so I have always been just like obsessed, and like I think the brothers make you really competitive, but that could be with any other siblings. So I love to win, and I hate winning. As the great Nikola Jokic said, winning is fun and losing sucks. Should we talk about why we're here, why we're filming this?
Well, okay, so something really funny, like speaking of you moving to Denver, is the only reason that we like know each other is because of Nuggets Twitter. We met on Nuggets Twitter.
You might think we've known each other for forever, and it kind of feels that way.
It does feel that way. It really does. We are very similar. We click very well, but we met on Nuggets Twitter. There was a guy named Will. Hi, Will. We love you.
Hi, Will. We love you and your podcast.
Shout out.
Shout out to Will. Will and Grace. Go watch their pod.
Yes, they literally have their own podcast.
We're going to shout out all the pods on here. We have so many friends with pods, so get ready.
I know. What's in a game? Go check it out. But Will, actually, he told us, or he told me, he's like, there's like this girl that I just posted about, like you would totally get along with her and everything like that. Like you guys are really similar. I like
me.
Yes. Oh my God. Stop.
It's so cute.
And I was like, oh, cool. Follow. And like one of the very
hold on. Will sent you me.
Oh yeah.
Little and so, me.
Yeah. So I followed Spencer, and after I followed her, one of the very first like random conversations we had on the timeline was she was like, I really wish like that I could host a sports podcast. And I was like, oh my God, like make me your co-host. And she was like, oh my God, move back to Colorado and we'll do it in like an instant. And then, I'm still not here in Colorado. I still don't live here, but it's just funny that like we weren't even like super close or anything like that yet. Like it was just like a passing conversation.
No.
And
then I slid in the DMs. I slid in the DMs because we kept like commenting on each other's stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is literally like my other half. Like this is my person. And I had a funny story to tell her, even though I didn't really know her. I'm like, I know she's gonna love this. And I did. To be disclosed later. But
I did love it.
But it was very funny. And then we just like would talk all the time. Yep. And then as prophetic as it sounds, Caitlin had a dream.
I quite literally had a dream. Yes. I texted her. I'm going to pull it up.
In the wise words of
MLK. So I had a dream, and I'm going to read the text that I sent her because I woke up in the morning and it felt so real. And I said, I had the funniest, but also best and most realistic dream in the world. You and I started a podcast called Ew Sports. And we had this cute little pink couch in an adorable room that we filmed in. And we had this little intro. And the little intro was like, welcome back to Ew Sports, the podcast done by girls, for girls, or anyone who wants to listen to girls talk basketball. I'm Spencer and I'm Caitlin. And we're so happy you're here.
And we are. Now we're here.
And we're here.
We're so happy you're here.
But this is also the best part because this is so us. At the end, I said, and then we talked sports and giggled.
And we've been giggling all day.
That's why we're here talking to you.
We're here for everyone, not just the girls, but we wanted it to be a NBA podcast that you don't see every day. So
yeah, we're trying to give like a fresh, fun
view. A girly view, which is fun. Like
because
we're
girls. Yes, we're girls. We're watching sports.
We love sparkly things. Like we are two of the most girly girls ever, and we love the NBA. We both watch probably 95% of the games. I would say, like we just love basketball, and so. Caitlin has several teams she loves. You know, I love the Nuggets here in Denver, but we're going to touch on the NHL, the MLB, the NFL, but this will mainly be an NBA podcast because we are just two girls who love basketball.
We're just two girls who love to talk
We
ball.
love to talk ball, and that's why we're here to
Yep.
talk ball.
But like we love the name esports too because like it's so funny like when you look at two girls, like two super girly girls like us, and you know you think like, oh my gosh, these girls like literally
probably
have,
know nothing.
Have
Probably
like these like sparkly nails and like look all
have
girly
never watched
and
a
shit.
game of the NBA in their entire lives.
Yeah, no, but we're like unfortunately obsessed.
Yes.
And so it's just funny because you like look at it, you're like, ew, like we're girls, we're not supposed to like sports.
So we're making fun of it. We're embracing the stereotypes.
Yes.
We're embracing that. That's a good way to
and
put
I also say ew before things that I love.
Yeah.
So like if she like posts a cute picture, I'm like, ew, I love it.
Like, ew, oh my gosh, we're so
yes,
cute.
like I hate how much I love it. And that's how I feel about sports. I hate how much I love it because it's my life.
But we are not analysts.
No.
We are not here to tell you that we know everything. We are here to talk ball and use our own opinions and what we like to watch and observe. And
we love to learn, by the way.
We love to learn.
Just know that like, we don't think that everything we say is the end all be all. We are not the smartest thing.
We don't know everything.
Yes, that is the beautiful thing about sports. And I will say it over and over again. We are all different people with different minds and different opinions and different like feelings on what's important when it comes to ball, what's like what skills are important, what players are important. We all have different opinions, and that's like fantastic. That's great for sports discourse. Okay, so
we can all be respectful. If we say something that you were like, that wasn't correct, you can let us
tell us. I want to learn that. I love to learn.
Know. Okay? We didn't claim we're not on ESPN for a reason. We made this show because it's our show, and we're here to talk about what we want to talk about. And if you don't agree, I'm so sorry.
I love you so much.
Not all of you will, and that's why we're all humans and we have different opinions.
Yeah, so. And that's okay. But to start the show out, this is going to be a mainly NBA episode today. We're going to be talking just kind of a little bit about last season, kind of what's been going on with like the trade or with the draft.
A lot of free agency.
Yes, the draft and lots of free agency. And then maybe like a super quick look ahead. But for now, like it's just kind of be like all the crazy shit that's happened in basketball the last few days
and weeks. The Boston Celtics are champions.
Yes. Congratulations to you, Boston Celtics.
Congratulations to you, Boston Celtics.
I owe you an apology. I did underestimate you and I apologize for that.
We all did.
Yes.
We didn't, I mean, because they got there once and they didn't make it.
Go Warriors.
But they did come back and they won, and it was an impressive feat. I believe they were obviously the most dominant in the East the entire season.
Yes, which is honestly part of the reason that I underestimated them.
100%. Well, because all you want to do is talk about their 3-point shots. And if they're not making it, then sometimes, whatever. But they were dominant. They won, and we're so happy for them.
Yes, and like other than that, obviously we're sad. Nuggets got out second round.
Yeah, Nuggets made
Game
me
7.
pretty sad. I agree. I wasn't thinking that the Mavs were going to be in the finals. I didn't think that Thunder were going to be in the first seed. I would have laughed you off the face of the earth. And we were talking about this earlier. I would have put them at like 5th or 6th. And the Mavs themselves didn't have a great start to the season and made 2 trades, and then they were in the finals.
Shout out PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford because
they did the dang thing.
Yeah, the Mavs are not done, man.
The Mavs are. We will not be seeing. I mean, if you have how I feel about Nikola Jokic, if you have one of the best players in the world, I'm never counting you out. So
Steph Curry, that's how I feel about the Warriors.
That's how I will always feel. If you have one of the best players, no matter if there's not all-stars around them, like they're winners.
Yeah. We did just want to congratulate the Boston Celtics as much as it hurts. I feel it.
I miss Nuggets basketball. I do. But,
oh man, what 2 weeks ago was the draft? One week ago? 2 weeks ago? When was that?
We missed it because we thought we were going to be filming, and then we realized it was much sooner.
Yeah.
But not a ton. Nothing we didn't want to touch on the draft for too long. Nothing too exciting. Some move ups, some teams grabbed some like earlier spots. Nuggets traded up to get their guy that they wanted before the Wolves could steal them.
Holmes, is that his name?
De'Ron Holmes. Considering Tim Conley likes to leave us and steal from us. But anyway, so Nuggets traded up. A couple other teams traded. Bronny James got drafted.
Bronny James did get
number
drafted.
55.
Yes. And I just want to say this because I think it's important to note. I think obviously there's like a lot of talk around the Lakers and Bronny James.
Always.
And I think
anyone with the last name James.
Yeah.
And the Lakers.
Yes. I think if you are Bronny James, it just sucks to be you. And like that sounds horrible, but like it doesn't matter how good you do. If you are not as good as your father, LeBron James, people are just going to look down on you and people are going to think that you're a failure. And so sucks.
That goes for almost anyone in the NBA that had a dad that played. It just sucks that LeBron happens to be one of the best players to ever play in the game. Still currently playing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know. I think that like
I feel bad for him.
I do. And I just
I'm
think
sure he doesn't want that weight on him, but it just
yes. And I don't know. It's nepotism. We know this. Nepotism is not a negative term.
It
is just a thing. Obviously he ended up getting drafted to the Lakers with his dad. They get to play together. I love that. I love cute shit like that. And like the fact that there's going to be a father-son duo, I will cry really hard.
It's very cute for them. And you can't blame Bronny. Like, who cares? The Lakers offered him a contract.
Yeah.
Would I personally want to go to the Lakers? No. I feel like the Lakers are a bit of a like Real Housewives of the NBA, but it's fine.
They are currently a reality show,
it
unfortunately.
It just feels a little silly, like with the JJ Redick. I thought that was a bit. We have to, I feel like we need to dive a little bit. We can move on from the draft. There's like nothing that exciting. Like, there's nothing that exciting. I think we can dive into some free agency, some trades, but let's talk about aprons.
Yeah, if you
I've
could
been
explain
dying
that.
to talk about aprons because I had no idea that aprons were not something you only wore in the kitchen. Anyway, apron is silly, so okay, NBA.
Sorry about that, guys.
Basically. I'm not going to go too into it. Again, I did my own research. You can do your own. It's like actually, once you take the time, you can kind of get it. Basically, the NBA has a new salary. Well, they have a salary cap, and they had a first apron, which basically just prevents teams from spending a certain amount of money over their salary cap. Once they hit the first apron, umbrella, whatever you want to call it, then they have, penalties. So essentially, once you hit the first apron, you're penalized. There's now a second apron. The first one has been here since like 2011. This past season was when they introduced the second apron.
Oh, was it really? I didn't realize that. Okay.
I found this out.
And love, you're so smart.
So the second apron has all of the first apron, obviously penalties, and then the second. And basically it just affects a lot of taxes that owners don't want to pay. There's team building things with picks that get frozen. A lot of that stuff that now a lot of people are scared of, which is why a lot of people have been letting players walk in free agency or not wanting to sign because people don't want to lose all that money, and owners have a lot of money that they don't want to pay to other people.
I remember, okay, so we were talking about this. Adam Silver he says that he doesn't hate dynasties.
Yeah.
Because what he's trying to do is he's trying to stop like the 2010s Warriors. He's trying to stop. I know. They're the reason I fell back in love with basketball. Really fell in love with basketball.
I feel like people are going to hate on us, but
I know. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Like it's okay. I'm
3
a fan.
stars on
We're
a
a
team.
fan of basketball first, and like when you have a team that has someone like KD, Steph, Klay, even Draymond,
that whole team.
When
When you have like the best of the best, am I not supposed to watch and enjoy it?
I know. It was, but they're trying to stop things like that because and it makes sense. Like you're spending a lot of money and you are like, and
there's a lot of teams in the NBA and they want to add more.
Yes.
And it's hard to do that. And they're making it harder so that you don't have 3 players on a max or near max contract like some teams do. And so basically they're trying to spread the love, spread the wealth, spread the players.
Give me super teams.
Give me super teams.
Speaking of aprons and max contracts and super teams, I just need to put this in here because I think it's really important and I want it to happen. And if someone's listening, make it happen.
Oh my gosh. I know what you're about to say now. I was like, what?
I have this a dream, but it's not like one where I sleep.
She had
and had a
another dream.
But yeah, this one wasn't a sleeping
vision.
dream. Yeah, this one was like, a vision. Like, that's so Raven. Like that, you know? And so I had one of those dreams where I really want like all of our generation stars and everything like that. So, because they're all on their way out of the NBA in like the next 5-ish
they're
years.
so old now.
I know. That means that we're old. But so, I want Steph, Klay, Draymond, Katie, LeBron, PG, Kawhi, Jimmy Butler. You get me. Chris Paul, all the guys. All of our
oldies,
favorite guys.
The oldies but goodies.
Yes. I want all of them to be on the same team, okay? Make it happen. I don't care what team it is. I don't care if it's the freaking Detroit Pistons. I want them all on the same team. And then what I want them to do, I want their their season theme to be one last rodeo. And then I want them to do
one last time with the boys, last night out, like a bachelor theme,
exactly. And
but for NBA,
exactly. Except it's one last rodeo, and then they all wear like assless chaps and have like what are those things called? Lassos, and they do like a Western theme calendar.
Oh yeah.
And tell me why this has anything to do with the NBA. I don't know, but I want it so bad. And then they can minus the assless chaps. I really don't need those.
No, I've always said
all wear pants.
But I just need to know, how many of them do you think don't even like each other? They've known each other for so many years. Yeah. Half of them are like Klay said he was not going to the Lakers. He easily could have gone to the Lakers. So I'm like, is there? I want to know.
Is there beef?
Is there drama?
Sorry. Someone let me know.
There could be a Real Housewives of the NBA, but not Housewives. I want just all of them in a Kardashian style show.
I love that.
It would be so good because I want to know
such a cute
and they're
idea.
calling and they're like, Klay doesn't want to go there. I think it would be so funny. LeBron's talking smack about Klay, and Clay's like, "Heck no, I'm not going to the Lakers."
Pass.
Anyway,
yeah, no, thank you.
I think it would be fun.
Can we still have the Western calendar?
Sure. Anything to make you
I
happy.
need the lasso.
So speaking of drama and Klay not going to Lakers, who I did want to say that apparently LeBron was willing to take a pay cut, but he did not.
Ugh.
And Klay is no longer with the Warriors.
So
You can take all the time you need.
Hold on, everyone. It's gonna be a minute. It hurts. Okay.
It's okay.
I love Klay Thompson so much.
And the Warriors.
Truly, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. I know that a lot of people talk shit. It's easy to talk shit about teams that
are good.
That are really good, yes. Because everyone really wants to beat them and it's frustrating and I get it.
And then when they're bad, everyone gets excited.
Yes.
Because they're they've been hating on them so long.
Yes, exactly. But Klay Thompson is no longer a part of the Golden State Warriors.
R.I.P.
I'm literally tearing up.
It is really sad, honestly. And I'm not even I don't really care that much about Klay Thompson. I loved that team when that won, but I haven't paid as much attention in the past few years. But that's sad. I would be sad if any one of the Nuggets, if any of Jamal or
it's
Jokic,
a best friend breakup.
Yeah, especially if that's your team. Now they're not.
13 years, guys. That's such a long
time to be somewhere and be with an organization. It's
yes, and the biggest thing that I want to add about this trade, because I actually really from just a pure basketball standpoint, I really like this for the Mavs a lot.
Yeah.
I think that this is such a good. I guess I shouldn't say trade. He wasn't traded. But I really, really like this for the Mavs because a lot of people are hating on him, and I know that he's not prime Klay Thompson. I get that. He's not the same person that he was before too. Literally career-ending injuries that
he's
turned
not
into
prime
just
Klay Thompson.
Yes,
but
and that's okay. He's still he's still Klay Thompson.
Yeah,
he's still one of the greatest shooters of all time.
Still a great piece to have on any team.
Yes, and you add him to the Mavericks where you have Kyrie and Luka. Kyrie, one of the, best handles and one of the best just passers and just general, ball IQs probably in the current NBA. You have Luka, who is one of the best offensive players that we'll probably ever see.
Oh, yeah.
In our generation ever.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously still really young, but by far one of the best offensive players we'll see. You add someone like Klay Thompson where NBA players still talk about he's Klay Thompson. You can't.
Another winner.
Yes. You can't not defend him he's prime Klay Thompson because you never know when he's going to have a game where he drops 60 on you. He's never dropped 60, I don't think, but You know, you never know.
He could have a team. Yeah,
Yes,
a game.
he has a
Still
ton of
shooting
records.
7-3,
Yes.
whatever I know his record's like insane.
14,
but 14
yeah.
threes. Like he's still going to be, which is why I know we were like having discourse earlier about if he's starting or like being benched. I think it like because you have Kyrie and Luka who are so good offensively that it might be good for him to come off the bench.
Yep.
I don't know if he wants to come off
Yeah,
the bench.
see, and like I was gonna say, so she thinks that he might come off the bench.
I think so.
I personally think that he'll be their starting small forward. I think it's gonna be Kyrie, Luka, or Luka, Kyrie, Klay, PJ Washington, and either Gafford or Lively, both of which I love.
We love Lively. We were hyping up Lively. Like he was such like his rebounds, like he was getting over 10 rebounds, like averaging over 10 rebounds, I think the entire playoffs. Like he killed it. And like as a young guy, like I love when young guys show up and show out.
Me
and
too, especially on like
prove they've got it.
Yes,
early.
especially on contending teams. But either way, I mean, so like with like the whole Klay thing, I just think that like people are talking a lot of shit, but like when you have people like Kyrie and Luka next to Klay, like I'm sorry, someone is getting doubled. Someone somewhere is getting doubled. You're gonna have an open look on either Kyrie, Klay, or Luka. And I think that's going to give them like a huge offensive boost. I mean, obviously, I don't think that they're the best defensive team. So defense might be something that they need to work on. But you do need offense also to win because if you didn't know, here's a really good statistic. 100% of the teams that have scored more points than the other team won. 100%.
Drop.
But yes, I like the Klay trade. I am distraught that he's off the Warriors. I will cry about it. I'm going to find a way to go to a Mavs Warriors game. Hopefully the first one.
Oh yeah.
I have to be there.
Oh, that'll be emotional.
I want to get a split jersey with
you're so
Klay
cute.
Mavs.
You're so cute.
And I can do it because he chose 31 for his number for the Mavs.
I love that.
And so I can do it like Mavs on this side where I have his 3 and then the 1 from the 11.
Wait, that's so cute.
I'm distraught about it. I love you, Klay Thompson. You are so good. You are so beautiful. Don't let anyone talk shit about you.
And
I'm talking to all of you.
Who else left the Warriors? Another person left the Warriors.
Our boy, CP3.
Our boy, CP3. We were kind of discussing like the winners and losers of the trades and like free agency, and there's a lot going on. So like we both got notes and like it's been back and forth. But Spurs, wow, are the Spurs and Thunder, but Spurs are some winners. Their front office knows what they're doing. Greg Popovich knows what they're doing. And we've noticed a lot of like the teams, Nuggets, seems like the Nuggets coaches and front office might have like different visions, which I don't think is good. I think to have a good team, like everyone needs to be on the same page. And I think the Spurs they're seasoned. They're great. CP3 coming in because they got Stephon Castle, who I think is a great draft pick for them. Yep. He's just going to be such a good, like the veteran tips and like training and like all the advice you get, I think is like literally worth any amount of money.
I think CP3, I know that like people joke like CP0 rings, like whatever. Okay, I know he doesn't. I know. I think that he's such a good basketball mind.
Yeah.
Like he's like the exact kind of guy that like you would want to go be a coach
such
after.
High IQ.
And personally, I think that that's why they signed him to a year deal. I know that he's old and everything like that, but like to have someone like CP3 play a year with a guy like Wemby, like first of all, CP3 to Wemby dunks, sexy basketball.
Like it's going to be such a great passer.
Lobs.
It's going to be so good considering a lot of like what I noticed, the Spurs problem, at least I didn't pay a ton of attention to them. When I was watching, like when I watch Nuggets games and you're like, why isn't the ball in Nikola Jokic's hands? Mm-hmm. That's weird. The best player should probably be touching the basketball. Yeah. And that's how I started feeling towards the end of the Spurs season. I was like, why are we not passing the ball to Wemby?
Yeah.
And I don't think CP3 will have any problems passing to Wemby. And I think he was a great piece for like the veteran presence. passing the ball. He was a great addition.
And like, how cool for Stephon Castle to get to learn behind a wonderful basketball mind like CP3. And then if CP3 does retire or, you know, whatever happens after his year with them, like you have Stephon Castle to then, you know, possibly run point guard depending on what they do at the time. With Wemby, and like gets to you know, learn and watch and kind of like understand what that looks like for him. And I just think that that's like a really smart basketball move.
And they're comparing Stephon Castle now to Drew Holiday. Like they're getting all the pieces, the passing, the defensive pieces, and then Harrison Barnes, who was 39%.
I was going to say, do we want to talk about
from
that one?
the outside last year? So like ending with the Spurs, that was a big trade. They got him, and like another piece that you don't hear about talked all that often, but 39% from three. So you've got an outside shooter. You have Wemby at the rim.
Yep.
You have CP3. They're going to be
And
good
people
next year.
joke about
They're not going to be
Harrison
last
Barnes.
or second to last like they were.
No, I personally think if you watch the Spurs towards the end of the season, the Spurs were like really competitive with a lot of really good teams. Like they beat the Nuggets in that last game of the season. Pain.
Thank you for reminding me.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was such a great game for me.
rough.
Loved watching it.
But like they started really competing and like kind of gelling together. And I think like once they get all the right pieces, like I just think that with a piece, like with a coach like Greg Popovich, like the Spurs organization knows like his value and what he brings to the team. And I think that he's going to bring that with like these new guys that they have and these new pieces. And Harrison Barnes, although he is not like the Harrison Barnes that he was when he was playing with the Warriors, like last year and the year before for the Kings, like he doesn't have like a ton of offensive output. He's not like an impeccable defender, but he's like a pretty reliable guy and he shows up when it matters.
Versatile, throw him where you need him.
Yes. And I just, I think that that's a good pickup for the Spurs, like who are only losing two second-round draft picks from this. And then if we're talking about that trade, then you have the Kings. And the Kings,
they got my boy DeMar.
They got DeMar DeRozan, which let me tell you, I'm really frustrated. I get these little mini basketball players from the grocery store. Okay,
yeah, you were
like please don't make fun of me. I get it, I'm weird, but they're cute little mini NBA players.
They're mini figures.
And I literally just got a DeMar DeRozan Bulls one. And now he's on the Kings. So I guess that's just memorabilia at this point. We're just remembering him.
Now he's gone on a vet. He got signed $74 million sign and trade.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good for the Kings. We had some, differing opinions. Caitlin loves this. I think they already have a ton of like ball handlers with De'Aaron. And then I'm thinking that Malik Monk will probably be starting next year. Like it was an option. He was, of course, voted a lot for Sixth Man of the Year, I'm pretty sure.
I think he was a second for Sixth Man of the Year.
I want to say he's the runner up. I hope I'm not wrong. And De'Aaron and Malik are both Kentucky boys. And fun fact, because I was telling someone this the other day, they're wearing each other's opposite numbers from when they were in Kentucky. I don't know if that was like, I don't think it was on purpose. Like who knows? But they were like the same year at Kentucky when I was a sophomore. Yeah. And they've like switched numbers, like silly little things. But
I love that. Yeah. I personally think that like while like maybe he doesn't answer all of their problems, I think that like last year, obviously they didn't make it out of the play-in. The Kings didn't. So obviously they have some work to do and everything. But when you lose two guys like Harrison Barnes and Chris Duarte, and you gain a guy like DeMar DeRozan, I think you get like a lot of really good experience. And you also get like a really versatile player who doesn't have, like he can play off ball really well. Yeah. He's really good with like motion offense and stuff like that.
He's been around the block. Yeah. He knows he's not, a rookie.
Yeah. And like, I think with like, De'Aaron Fox and DeMontis Sabonis and all your other starters and everything like that, I feel like the Kings offense was kind of like stagnant last year. And I think
they do have like a lot of good pieces. Like, like De'Aaron Fox is amazing. Malik Monk is amazing. Yeah. DeMontis Sabonis obviously like
fantastic
averaged a, triple double or double double. He had the most, I think he like broke the record for most double doubles and like consecutively, whatever it was. But yeah, so clearly you have good pieces. You just have to like
like
slide
I said,
in a few more.
I feel like last year, like their offense was just like kind of like chucking up threes because that's what worked really well for them in 2022 when they made it to the playoffs and made it to the first round for the first time in forever. Sorry that my Warriors beat you. I love you so much.
We're not sorry.
Yeah, I'm a little bit not sorry. But either way, like, I think that's what worked so well for them was their 3-point shooting. And so that's kind of like what they relied on last year. And I don't think it really worked for them. It just kind of became like their thing where they would chuck up threes and yeah. And so I feel like DeMar DeRozan adds like a little bit of a different piece there. And so I don't think it answers all of their problems.
Yeah.
But I do think it is a good move.
I gave it like a C.
C. I think that's what you said.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Like, I like it. And I'm happy for DeMar.
I've been like giving out like little grades and like winners and losers.
Who's the loser of the Western Conference, Miss Spencer?
Not only did the Clippers lose, like, or maybe they win the award for worst new logo, which we don't need to talk about, but I think it's so ugly.
Who was gonna tell me that a Clipper is a plane?
I think it looks
Who
like
was it?
I think it looks like a college like crest, like is what I think it looks like.
Love that.
I don't know, like a university crest. I don't know. I think it looks.
I think it looks like Thomas the Train, but like in a plane form. Does that make sense?
It looks so silly. I can't. But they lost Paul George because I think they were afraid of the aprons. And so they did not give him 4 years, which is I think what he wanted, but the 76ers did.
They were willing to pay that.
But it's okay, guys, because the Clippers still get to pay Kawhi Leonard, who will never be healthy, and James Harden, who hasn't been worth his salary in 3 seasons, almost $250 million. So
that's
I don't know what they're gonna do.
I personally believe that the Clippers will be worse next year. I'm so sorry. Please don't yell at me.
Yeah, they will. Oh yeah, because I will not let anyone live this down. I called it because all the ESPN analysts talked about how the Clippers were contenders and they were going to win, and because they had all the names. And I'm like, I don't care how many superstars you have. They're old. Like they are not who they were. Kawhi is not healthy. James Harden, the system just doesn't seem like a great guy to play with. And
the system.
And so in the second half of the year, I said they were all going to lose gas because they're old, and they did. And
they slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah, so it felt good to be right. I know ball.
She knows ball.
I mean, there's not a ton of. I feel like for me, I felt like the Nuggets were becoming losers. We lost KCP.
Ow.
Moment of silence. Ouch. Boo. Tomato.
We love you, KCP.
Tomato, Calvin Booth. If you're watching this, I hope you are. I have select words for you because he's in Europe having a mighty time out there.
I love that for him.
Love that. I don't. Well, KCP did not pay. He had a player option, which we all knew he was going to decline. And the Magic offered him $66 million, I think, for 3 years or whatever. A lot of money.
He'll be really good for the Magic in like a non-biased like ball talking.
Yeah. So the Nuggets.
I'm sad that the Nuggets lost him though.
I know. We lost him. Christian Brown will be moving up. Who will replace Christian Brown on the bench?
I love Christian Brown.
I do love CB, and I don't think it's as tragic as everyone's making it out to be. It feels like it's like the end of the world. And it's not for the starting 5, in my opinion. It's more for like the bench losing that presence. Yeah. Especially because like a lot of the guys are younger because we don't have a deep bench. And like we lost some of our vets. But I loved him in the Wolves series. He was my preferred defender over Anthony Edwards, or on Anthony Edwards over KCP. Yeah. And he did a great job. He proved himself. So I think he will have a good season.
And he'll grow into it too. Yeah. Like I think he's had all of his years with playoff experience now. I mean,
he's a winner. He won like his high school championship, college, and then with the Nuggets. NBA. And he was great with us on it. So he's a winner.
I love him.
We love him. We got Saric. The Nuggets get Saric, which was on the Warriors.
I love him. I think he's like a really good pickup for the Nuggets. Like I watched him a lot, obviously, on the Warriors last year. He's a really good bench piece. And
the Nuggets are broke. Yeah. Just so you know this.
Baroque is
the Nuggets are
They spent a lot a lot of few years ago on all their players.
Don't have a ton of money. So like Saric was a fine piece to add.
Yeah. And he played the center position a lot for the Warriors because we all know the Warriors don't have a true big. Never have, never will, apparently. I'm just kidding. But
the inventors of the small ball.
Of course. Yes. 4-guard lineups. We love. But either way, so he got a lot of experience and a lot of positions on the Warriors, and he just like he was always someone that you could depend on, like to shoot, to defend, like just to be there and do his job. He reminds me a lot of Jokic, and maybe that's because just of like their culture and stuff like that. Just like not being
we love the Balkans, whatever they're called now. I hope that's the right term, but he's from Croatia, I think. We love all the guys. Luka, we love all their guys.
Yeah, serious boys. But I like him. He's a good pickup for the Nuggets, and I think that he'll help their bench a lot once they get a backup center.
Point guard.
Oh,
we need a backup point guard.
Oh yeah, sorry. We got what? We got Deron Holmes.
We got Deron Holmes, who I think is going to be like what Zeke Naji was supposed to be. Who knows? But then, where Reggie Jackson is gone, so we need a bench point guard, and we think it's going to be Russell Westbrook, which this is controversial. Like, people either love him or hate him, but I love Russell.
That baby.
I love Russell Westbrook, and I loved him on the Thunder. And I think, like, him on the Clippers showing that he could, like, go to the bench and, like, sacrifice for his team. He's, like, changed a lot, I think, from what he used to be, like, at the start of his career.
Yeah.
So I think, and apparently Jokic, like, hand request or self
that
request.
That is an honor.
He requested to play with Russell Westbrook, and like it's Jokic and the homies. So like what Jokic wants, Jokic gets.
Totally.
Speaking of power of the homies, there's another team that's the power of friendship just personified, and
this is so much for me.
We're in love with them.
Okay. We got to talk about the Villanova Knicks. I'm so sorry. I meant New York.
Villanova Knicks. We love them.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, so the Nets traded Mikal Bridges to the Knicks for Bogdanovich and 5 first-round picks.
First-rounders.
And I think like 2 second round or 1 second round and like a second round pick swap or something random like that. Yeah. But a lot of picks, an entire future, truly.
Because they said the future is now.
The future is now
with our team, and they've waited patiently to get their guys.
Yes, and I think that's smart because like for someone like the Knicks, like you have Jalen Brunson, which like shout out to him, huge freaking year for him,
breakout season.
Love it. Love
Underestimated.
Dante.
He's small.
Yes, love Dante DiVincenzo next to him in the backcourt. I think that's a beautiful backcourt. I had so much fun. I literally have been telling people all season, Knicks are my favorite, or like were one of my favorite starting fives in the entire NBA. I loved watching them. I had so much fun watching them, and so I don't hate this like trade for them. I think it's the cutest shit in the world.
They've all played together, which we know like experience like goes beyond like experience, chemistry. We talked about this like by ourselves earlier, but when you have someone that was kind of like forced to be the number one on a team that doesn't need to be the number one, they usually rise to the occasion when they're given the chance to be like the third or fourth option. And I think that's going to be so good for Mikal Bridges. Yep. That's how like Aaron Gordon was with the Magic and the trade. Like everyone was, has been so impressed.
Gordon to the Nuggets, and then he's done fantastic. But that's
he did not need to be the number one person on anywhere.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Like the Nets talked about, where like there were rumors going around that like Mikal Bridges was going to be like who the Nets were going to build around, and I just like everyone else was like this too, but we were all like. I don't know. Like, is that really a good option?
Do we want to do that?
And so, like, to have him on a team like where he knows who he's playing with, like he knows how they play, they know
durable.
how to play.
He doesn't miss a game.
Yes, Mikal Bridges is one of the most active, like durable, healthy players. Yeah. He had the longest active streak. I don't know if he's broken that. But
I don't know.
The longest active streak in the NBA.
Like great defensive player, like can shoot, can defend, add spacing to the floor. Like,
and we have the power of friendship, and the boys get to hang out. I love. There's
the Nova Knicks.
The Nova Knicks, and there's literally, truly nothing that I love more than a group of happy boys that are friends.
I know. It like literally breaks my heart, or puts it back together. I don't know, but I'm so excited. I'm like, I cannot wait. I'm gonna be like the biggest little Knicks girly next year.
Me too. I know. I hate it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to everyone for me adding a fifth team. But speaking of the Knicks, also, I want to add OG Mr. Max contract Anunoby. Let me hold $1.
OG, can I get $1?
Please.
OG,
that is insane.
Anna, give me some money.
Yes. I mean, it was like a 4-year, a gajillion dollars.
So many dollars.
But I think that they're going to have like the Villanova 4 and then OG Anunoby as the 5 since they lost Hartenstein.
To the Thunder.
The deep ass Thunder.
The Thunder. Wow. The Thunder get Alex Caruso from the Bulls. They get Isaiah Hartenstein. What are they doing over there?
They have obviously they were the 1 seed last year. So like that's like the fact that they were the 1 seed last year in a really competitive Western Conference, and they just added additional defense in Alex Caruso, and then someone like Hartenstein.
Some veteran presence. That's what you championship
especially
experience.
on a young team. I think a big reason that the number 1 seed OKC did not go further than they did was because of the lack of championship experience.
Yeah.
I always tell people that when I like make predictions in playoffs and everything like that, I always take playoff experience into account.
And Isaiah Hartenstein was like the best big man available, one of them. Yeah. And he's just like one of the best screeners in my opinion. I don't know if he's
I like clean screens.
We love good screens. This can be
Do
so
not
good for
at me
SGA.
for being a Warriors fan and saying I like clean screens, by the way.
But they've got like a lot of good offensive output from, JWell, J-Dub, and SGA. So to have like someone like Hartenstein, Alex Caruso, some of those defensive pieces they need.
I agree, because that's what I said.
I hate that I have to give them a good grade because
they've done well.
They've done nothing to me besides be
good.
better than be ranked above the Nuggets and like beat us, but it's fine.
I know, and like a lot of people were talking crap about Alex Caruso. Like in the Josh Giddey trade and everything like that, because you're losing a guy that I think he averaged like 19 points a game or something like that. And Alex Caruso is not that big of an offensive guy, but like Spencer said, like when you have a team or like a starting 5 or I guess starting 4 without Josh Giddey, that's such like good offensive players. Like you have SGA and J-Dub and Chet.
Yeah,
and
you need
the
the pieces that help them get to the rim and like give them the opportunities.
Yeah,
so kudos to you, Thunder. That's all you're gonna hear from me.
That's the only nice thing you'll hear from me.
Only nice thing you're gonna hear. Another team with a lot of dollars. And one of my players that I wanted to go to the Nuggets that no one else did was, well, I think you agree, is PG. Another thing the Clippers lost.
Also wanted him on the Warriors.
The 76ers get another good grade for me. They get Andre Drummond, Eric Gordon. They get Kelly Oubre re-signing, which
Tyrese Maxey on a fat contract.
Yeah, Paul George is like an insane upgrade from Tobias Harris in like offensive output. Yep. It takes a little bit of the pressure off of Kelly Oubre Jr., which I think is important. You have a lot of good pieces. Andre Drummond as an Embiid backup, which they will get plenty of usage out of.
We love you. Sorry, Embiid.
Okay, I didn't say I loved you, but
you're
a great player if you would ever say
everyone.
If you were to ever say healthy. But you get Eric Gordon for shooting. They basically fit a lot of pieces for all of their dollars. I don't know. They must not be scared of the aprons.
Yes, and here's my hot take, and it might not even be a hot take. Embiid haters, please don't come for me because I don't hate Embiid. He's obviously a fantastic player.
He's a wonderful player. Again, I don't like he's compared to Jokic, but they're both amazing at their positions.
Yes, literally.
Okay. That was so good of me. I was so big and strong.
That was really nice. Okay. You're such a nice girl.
I'm trying.
I love that for you. But like, here's the thing, okay? I think Joel Embiid needs to take a season off. I hate that he's playing for USA Basketball right now because he's not resting at all. He said it was for his fans. But like, here's the thing. Like in the playoffs, he literally was like collapsing while doing free throws. And like at this point, like it's not even like, I get it. Like people like to joke like, ha ha ha, his health. Like that's funny. So great. Like love that for you. But like, it's not great because he's a fantastic player. And obviously, he won an MVP. He's on a really good team. He's one of the best centers that we've seen, in the last like 10 years. He's amazing. That's great. But like when you are pushing yourself like through injury, you are ending your career early and you are
And you're not
nothing to
durable.
yourself.
You're not one of those players that we talked about never misses a game. Like you're one of those players that you're like, they're going to miss half the season.
Yeah.
And so you do need a reliable center like that. I mean, that's
a backup center.
You
absolutely.
need an amazing, reliable backup from the bench that can take over and like that doesn't have you, suffering too much. I mean, not that the regular season like matters so much, but like you're not going to make it far in the playoffs if you're
MVP.
If you're MVP and like the person you've tried to build around is never healthy.
Yes.
And I've talked about this with several people. It would look really silly if, in 10, 20 years when they're talking about MVPs, like Jokic has 3 and he has done the Western Conference Finals. He's won a championship. So he, I think, like kind of gets some slack now. And I think Embiid has, when you've never even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and you're supposed to be like either like the same as Jokic or better or right under, like it just like diminishes. It's just not going to look good because it'd be like, well, why does he have an MVP? Like his team never made it past the first round.
Yeah.
But
we are not athletic trainers.
That's okay. We're just here to give our opinion that Joel Embiid doesn't care about because he's making millions of dollars.
I would love to be Joel Embiid.
I would too.
I'll give you my knees, bro. I don't need them. Like cut me off.
You know who doesn't care about aprons and has a lot of millions of dollars?
The Boston Celtics.
The Boston Celtics, because they don't give a frick about aprons because they just signed everybody. I want the Celtics to give me $1.
Yes, they have that championship money. Shout out to our Colorado boy, Derek White.
We love
Not only
him.
did he just win a ring, I actually went to middle school with Derek White, but he actually was one of the only guys on the basketball team that didn't bully me in middle school. So
We love Derek White.
We love him for that. Literally. But he just signed a really big contract, and I love that for him. He deserves it. D2 kid for 3 years, worked his booty off, got to D1, and then ended up with the Spurs, and is now a champion.
Yes. We love him.
Big Colorado boy.
Big Colorado boy.
So shout out to him. Hell yeah for your championship.
Who else got paid?
A lot of people, but they literally spent a gajillion dollars on like their top 6 guys, which is incredible. Like Jason Tatum just signed
JT for $300 million, whatever gajillion dollars.
$314
JT,
million.
can I hold $1? And we've seen how hard it is to keep championship teams together. The Denver Nuggets, who spent a lot of money way too soon. But anyway. Yeah, the Celtics said F a second apron and we're giving out all the money.
Yeah, straight up. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis.
They've got their guys. And I mean, they're
all
obviously the team to be like, that's how it felt all season was everyone was chasing the Nuggets from the previous year. And now that's, obviously going to be the story of next season. And they proved that you can win a championship by shooting a lot of 3-pointers.
Yes, and I just have to say too, real quick, I love that Al Horford won a championship. Daddy Al.
Daddy
Horford.
We love him.
I love that for him.
I'm so selfish, and it felt so good to know that another Western Conference team did not win.
Yeah.
And I'm being a big girl, and I'm letting you all know that. Felt really good to know that we're still the reigning Western Conference.
I love this.
I'll never let it go. I'll be saying this in like 3 years. You remember in
that one time?
That one time. But as long as you have Nikola Jokic, hope is never dead.
Yes.
Same. Like, I mean, there's so many good players right now. I'm excited for.
Yes.
I'm excited. Summer League is fine and well and dandy.
Yes.
But there's nothing like some good hoops. We are really excited for I miss the NBA. I miss good basketball.
Me too.
We talked about I miss dunks. I miss Jokic passes. I miss
24 seconds of good defense.
24 a good shot clock violation would hit right now. It would feel so good to watch that right now. We are going to put a lot of clips in future episodes so we can react to them.
Sexy
sports, sexy basketball.
Yes, we're really excited to just kind of like share all of like our favorite stuff. I refer to sports as sexy, and it's because good, well executed
Is sexy.
Just good sports like that is executed
Makes you feel
perfectly
good.
and properly.
It's
and
hot.
like like
so hot.
comeback wins, grand slams. Like the other day, the Diamondbacks had like this gorgeous grand slam where they were down 2-7. Grand slam, you're down. You're only down 6-7.
I was
now.
watching some soccer, and they like the like Copa America
team.
thing, and don't judge me on that, but they got like there was no one who had scored with Argentina and Chile until the last like 2 minutes of the game.
I love shit like that. Yes.
It's like
it's so good.
We just love sports.
Yes. And we miss it.
Yeah.
Obviously there's like really great baseball on right now. We are coming up on
Not the
football
Rockies.
season. Sorry, Rockies. But
Not
we're
the
coming up
Rockies.
on football season. We're so excited. We're probably going to do like an NFL preview for you guys and look ahead.
I like I'm like Caitlin with NBA with like football. I'm like, I love
everyone.
I love everyone. I'm a like Cowboys girly. LOL. Like I love Joe Burrow. So like I love watching the Bengals. I'm definitely like Caitlin with basketball, with football.
Go Broncos and Broncos only.
And I do love the Broncos. Like, yeah. So we're excited to like talk about all the things, but like, of course, like we love ball and we watch so much basketball and like have so many friends that we talk to about basketball.
Yep.
So that will be probably most definitely the focus.
Yes, but we're really happy that you're here. If you do like us and you're not one of like our friends or family that we're literally paying to watch this right now. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to tell people that.
Please.
But if you're not being paid to watch this and you want to like subscribe
That'd be
to
so
this
cool. You
channel
could,
or like this,
hit that thumbs up.
smash the like
Smash the like button.
Ew.
And
then
subscribe and like the things that tell you when we're posting, but we're gonna try and post on Mondays. That seem to be the fan favorite, but we have our Twitters linked. We have an EU Sports Twitter. We have an EU Sports TikTok. We're working on getting an Instagram. If it didn't hate me so much, the technology part has been hard, but we are so
Steph Shimmy to finish it off. But either way, we're so happy you're here. We're so happy to be here, and we cannot wait to share our love of sports with you
I know,
over
we
the
can't
next
wait to yap and gab
50
and
years.
giggle.